Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. Now in the last episode, I had expanded the road network of the town to accommodate a brand new suburb, possibly the last one that we're going to need for quite a long while. I also readjusted some of the mod settings to lower the amount of seniors we were getting by basically increasing the retirement age so that the seniors themselves weren't really around as long. We then spent the rest of the episode building a roundabout, so today we're going to be pushing 7,500 population, which is going to give me a bunch of new things to play around with by unlocking the all-important new milestone giving me high-density zoning, allowing me to start actually city planning rather than just building these chaotic, unorganized little suburbs, which you could plan for, I guess, but either way, let's begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the sprawling suburbs of Swords. Now, we've got a little bit of an issue going on at the moment, which is to say that there is a massive fire engulfing the Washington Business Park. I think it's just originated from some of the trees here between the highway and the zoning of the district itself, and we can see that there are absolutely... I gotta say, the first responders are out in droves doing a great job. Even the little fire truck is there. But yeah, I mean, this could be a potentially big problem. A lot of our industries are burning down, but they seem to be on top of it. We'll keep an eye on them. But there's also a fire going on over here in the suburbs, on the very extremes of our city. Again, first responders right on top of it. Feeling damn good about that. In fact, where are they coming from, just specifically? If we were to look at firehouses, yeah, they've come pretty far from out of the center here. So I guess they don't have to go... It's not too long, right? They go up here and probably out, and then they're able to get in pretty quickly. But yeah, again, the trees have caught fire, so this is going to be kind of spreading around. This kind of thing would really be beneficial at some point in the future to get the helicopter depot to put fires out from the air to get there very quickly. It's especially good with forest fires, because what happens is these fire trucks are going to be putting out the fires on the houses, but the forest is just going to continue with burning and then spreading into the houses again and again. These guys are like, yeah, this is great. I want to move in and get a front row seat to see what little Timmy's going to be going through in here. 3 children. Anyways, right, speaking of fires and disasters, let's have a look at this roundabout and try to sort out the issues from the previous episode. Although, largely speaking, it has been largely resolved. A lot of feedback, though. People saying create a slipway, maybe to bypass the roundabout altogether, just, you know, going straight to where you want to go. An underground route to tunnel straight into the industrial area to get people to work. People had, I guess, suggestions about my lanes, stuff like that, but I'm going to go with my own solution. What could go wrong with that? But not really. I'm actually going to use kind of a melting pot of different ideas that I saw in my Discord and in the comments as well. So one of the first things I want to do is upgrade this... Well, let's talk about the problem really quickly. So, of course, we've got sort of one filter road here that goes out onto the roundabout, and a lot of people are being collected, right, from all over all these different houses. All these suburbs here are basically all deciding that this is probably the best way to get out in order to get to our industrial area. Even people that live like here, I've been following, they're going this way and then going up to this roundabout, coming down, and a lot of people are just coming out that way rather than just going straight out this way. That's a bit of an issue. Want to correct that. So, got a few different ideas. One of which is to increase the amount of lanes on this road. And I'd played around with the idea of this. I was actually thinking that we could have 2 lanes coming down and 1 going in. I don't really know why, but you have asymmetrical roads in the game, like such as this one. A 3-lane road with 2 lanes going one and 1 going to the other. Obviously, there is use cases that you need that, but if it's for people going to work, the same amount of people are kind of using this road at the end of the day as they are in the beginning of the day, so it's not really going to make any difference. You kind of want an even amount of lanes, I think. So we're going to go with a 4-lane road. Nothing too fancy about it. I don't know why I can never find... So basically we want a 2-way road, and we want to go up to 4-lane. I obviously just scroll by it. I don't know why, but there's like so many different road types. That's a 2-lane road, 2-lane... 2-lane, 2-lane, 2-lane. Am I losing my mind? Okay, let's just search. I probably just scrolled by it many times. There we go. 4-lane road. I get nervous on camera, okay? I can't read. Anyway, so let's upgrade this one. Yeah, we have our zoning toggled on, so the houses should stay in place. Alright, so there we go. 4-lane road. Easy peasy. Everything else staying the same. It did disconnect my bridge, actually, so let's just rebuild that. Alright, looking smooth. So we'll have to just do a little lane connection. Let's just start with this one. So these 2 lanes can basically... Yep, you go that way. You go that way. And you go that way. And that's already linked to there. Okay, cool. That's fine. So this is a 1-way road filtering out. So what I want to do here, I noticed, is that I actually want to tell them not to cross over like that, so don't do that. If you're on the inner lane here, you stay on that inner lane. Like, you can obviously come out, but you might as well stay. There's no need to cross over because you can't possibly get out that way. By the way, I know that these roundabout rules aren't necessarily true to life, but this is the only way we can do it with where the nodes are placed, how to actually allow them to cross lanes. So I am aware that you wouldn't necessarily be crossing lanes like right here, but people do cross lanes in a roundabout. I mean, that is how they work. Some people were like, you'd never cross a lane in a roundabout. It's like, okay, how would you ever get out from the inside then? Like, you have to cross the lane at some point when you're at, like, approaching the exit. But anyway, at least my understanding is that, and I don't have a great understanding. I did do my first driving lesson, and we went on roundabouts and stuff, and I feel like I get it. Anyways, like I said, God help everyone else. So, I was noticing as well, when people are getting off the roundabout, coming up this way and getting into work, I don't know why I kind of made this turn here. They don't really need to be doing that at all. You shouldn't be turning right if you're coming in off this road. This is a one-way road leading in. And a lot of people get stuck here because trucks are piling up there and they get backed up behind them. So what we need to do, I think, is actually just stay straight here. And you guys can do either. So we can have people just crossing out of the way if they want to. And then the last thing, I guess, would be you're free to turn left and go straight, which might be a bit chaotic. And you're free to turn left and go straight. Is there anything else you guys need to do? Not really. And you guys obviously are just going to go straight out or go that way. Don't need to do this for everybody. You can go to that lane as well if you wanted to. And yeah, you're kind of in the same boat. I don't know about this. I haven't thought about this too much, but I'm just saying you can go whatever way you want, really. All right, so let's see how this goes. That's phase one. Phase two is here. So this is a way out for a lot of people, and some people were suggesting maybe building a roundabout here. I'm going to actually get rid of the lights, and then we're going to use TMPE to say that you can't turn left. All right, so out of here, you are not turning left here. You can go forward or right. That's totally fine. You guys can obviously come in, but this means that there's actually now only one way out of here. So you come in this way, and you go back onto this roundabout to get out, or unless you're joining the highway. So if you want to go out and get out of the city, that's totally fine. If you wanted to get out and just go maybe down that way, you would have to take this roundabout and go. But I think this will actually solve a lot. I think. We'll see how it all plays out after a while. So what will be most telling will be the traffic in the morning. Yeah, about 7 a.m. will kind of give us a good idea of when people are traveling. And then 6 p.m. we'll see people going home. We'll see it filling up as well. So let's have a look at the traffic thing at the moment. It's 84% flow. And I think we're looking fine. So, last thing I just want to check with it was the lane connectors again. Just make sure that's okay. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think it's fine. Oh, yeah, the very, very last thing then is I want to stop cars coming this way and joining onto this. So, 2 more things to do. You guys are not turning left either. Neither are you. So if you're coming out of these suburbs, you are not turning left. You gotta go back up that way and come down around. That's fine by me. But you're piling up. You're causing people to be delayed getting off the roundabout by turning left here. So you're just turning right if you want, or you can go the other way, get around it that way. The last thing then is this road is going to be a one-way, leading the opposite direction. So we'll set it to be a one-way with trees. Why not? I just realized that's set to bridge mode for some reason. I've never toggled that on, so I don't know why it does that by default. Alright, so we have a lovely little road with trees. One way getting out of here. The fire truck is going to be breaking the rules for a little bit. But that's my plan, right? So what we've just done, in effect, is I've changed this to be a one-way. So you are not, if you're living over here, you're not using this road. If you're living down here, you're not coming out to block traffic. You're just going to go up and around and take the long way to get onto that roundabout if you want to come out this way. Or you might change your mind maybe and go this way and come out that way. That's fine. If you are on the roundabout, you still can't go in this way, but you're going to be up here and turning in this way. And now you've got more freedom to switch lanes and still do the turn that you want to do. I wasn't previously allowing that. So if you're on this far lane here, the outer lane, outer being away from the building, you actually just had to go straight. I'd prevented people from turning left, so that meant a lot of cars were backed up here while maybe a truck was unloading or loading from this place. So this should just, it's a few little things I think that will speed things up or make things a little nicer. So we'll see. I expect it to still get busy, but hopefully not jam-packed like we were seeing before. Anyway, so while that's happening, it's going to be nighttime soon, so we're going to zone some extra areas. Two other ideas I've got now is we want to make this place a bit more dense for commerce, because it's got all the bus lanes and things there already. And now we can actually expand out to the new territory that we just grabbed. I'm just going to pause time while we zone it. And then one last thing, actually, I keep saying one last thing, but something I'd like to do here is just pick one of these roads, change it so that the zoning is only on one side. Is that correct? That seems like it's right. That does that sometimes, I don't know why. Oh, I'm after making this a one-way. Good. I don't know how I did that. I thought I just picked this road with the color picker thing. Anyway, regular road, please. Let's do that again, and now the zoning is flipped. Oh my god, there we go. Alright, better. Better. And it just allows for the zoning inside the estates to have more space, basically, so that's good. Alright, we can zone all of this now. Let some people move in. Okay, and just make sure they have their stuff, so they don't have water yet. Just turn off the grid. So the goal is to get to 7,500. We're currently at 6,874. I did just remove a few people, but we're going to be zoning a lot out this way again. So again, let's just zone this. It's good to zone it during the night because I find people do move in and clog up the traffic a bit. As you see them driving in all the time. Alright, and let's just continue this. Alright, let's turn on our vitals. How are we doing? Sewage treatment's kind of low. Electricity is getting a little low. I think for the nighttime it might be quite low. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, did I do it yet? No. So people that wanted me to turn off, excuse me, schools out. We're going to be redoing the districts here in a second. But we'll turn off schools out and see if it makes any difference to the library. Because people were saying like, oh, that's why people aren't using the library. You have schools out. Now, I don't think that's the case, but we'll see. So schools out is off. People can now go and get educated freely. They're totally fine to do that. By the way, when we get to the next milestone, we also unlock a university. So an issue with the industry out here is a lot of people, we don't have anyone that can take the highest end jobs, right? The highly educated jobs, there's 46 positions for highly educated. And we don't have anyone that can take those jobs right now. Excuse me, just had to blow my nose. Got hay fever, basically. All right, so anyway, yeah, so a university would solve that issue. And where we need 650 in order to get to the final stage. I'll probably just put down more slaughterhouses, to be honest. And that would probably work out. We just need more... We need a little bit better education before we can really fill these up. But we can take the uneducated jobs and the regular ones too. Alright, let's have a look at our traffic flows nighttime. So everything's looking pretty good. 82%. We haven't caused any complete chaos here. Remember, people can leave this area, but they can't turn left. They're like Derek Zoolander. They can only go right or forward. And our little one-way solutions, I think, will help nicely. Okay, good. We're up to 6,926 again and gaining. Let's have a look at the newbies that have moved in. Yeah, let's just keep paving them out. Or zoning them. I'll just zone this all. This is fine. Now, the idea was that this would be commerce as well at some point. And then the park entrance would be somewhere here, and then we wrap a wall around this whole place. Some people were saying, like, you know, connect this area to here. And it's like, yeah, that would make sense, but I just want to do a big park here. I've intentionally made it difficult for myself. I don't know why, but I don't know. Something tells me that's the way it should be. But once we start actually city planning, I'll feel like I'll get a bit more organized and we'll plan out suburbs and stuff a bit better than in future. But this is fun, just to do kind of chaotic, sprawling, natural-looking city building. It's not even like I'm the one building the city. It's like this is just how the city grew. And I'm then trying to come in and solve the little issues it will naturally have. By the way, it's the morning time, so let's have a look. So I failed to mention, during the mornings, buses start rolling out. So we'll see them take these strange routes. These buses are all heading into their first stop, effectively. So that was happening before. It's because we have an increased budget during the day for buses, but a decreased one at night. So it's 50% of the budget at nighttime. So it just rolls out more buses in the mornings to go collect the people that want to go to work, which I think is working fairly well. And then we'll see more and more people getting picked up to go to work as well, on the yellow line especially. The yellow line gets started earlier than the blue line. They kind of go into the city before they start, like here. So loads of people getting on all there already. 24 collected. Love to see it. That guy got left behind. And then, yeah, we'll start to see more and more people waiting at the different stops as it's now making its trip. So which bus are we on? We're on this one. There we are. Cool. That's obviously going to bring people to the Commerce District. People work there as well, let's not forget. Alright, looks like we're getting a little busier. Yeah, so the priority is going to be a lot lower on the people coming out of the industrial area. So this is going to get busy, no doubt. I'm just hoping we don't see it back up too much. But it's free-flowing. It's doing what a roundabout should do. We do have people using this area here. Again, I think another kind of overpass would free up just a little bit, would smoothen out that traffic. I don't know. Can you build pathway underpasses? That would also make sense. I don't really see many overpasses where I am, but I see a lot of... Yeah, you can. It does let you. I see a lot of little tunnels. I don't like the tunnels, though. Scary. Always worry that when I'm walking in one of those tunnels, just a little pedestrian tunnel, that someone will step out in the front, and then I look behind me and someone will step out in the back, and I'll be like, oh. Well, here I go. But yeah, we're seeing cars kind of pulling out or stopping, not stopping here as much, which is nice. And these are the guys all filtering out. Yep, this is totally good. We're getting backed up here now for the first time. Just a bit. Just make sure I didn't forget any. So if you're on the inner lane there. So if you wanted to just take a right turn, just get the hell out, you go in that green lane. But people who want to go to work are pretty much all going to be in the central lane. Let's follow this guy. He's a cleaner at Garments Limited. Yep, it's in the business park, as we expected. Whoa, careful. It'll be interesting with Cities Skylines too, seeing as there is car accidents. I wouldn't be able to do any of this shenanigans with my lanes. And that bus would have just completely mauled that car. This seems like a very slow road. Can we speed that up? Yeah, it's supposed to be 60. Alright, I think we're good. Oh wow, we're making a lot of money. We're filling up the storage of the... Wow, we're actually making that money without actually selling baked goods. So it must just be from the regular farms. Some of the flour, perhaps, the regular crops and animal products every now and then. Of course, we don't necessarily see it in the screen reflected immediately. You know there's a big delay when we're exporting things. And I'm guessing that we'll see that all of these are in use. Yeah, 9 out of 9. 6 out of 7. 9 out of 9 again. 6 out of 6. So they're going to be kind of full while they're exporting stuff off the map. A lot of them. Alright, nice. Anyways, so we've got a decent demand for... Yeah, let's put in just the last little bit of industry is going to go here. Not really going to add any more into this business park. In the future, another business park will be opened up here, and we'll have something near the docks, oil industry and stuff like that, so that's at least the plan. But let's get a bit more aggressive with zoning. We need more commerce yet again. So we'll just remove these guys as the commercial center grows, and we'll leave a gap between the houses. There we go. How are you guys for jobs? 13 jobs available for well-educated and or for highly educated and regularly educated. So tier 2 and tier 4. 42 out of 42 visitors. Yeah, so I guess what's happened is since we put down more parks, the land value has increased around people's houses. Thus, I guess just generally they have more money, right? That's ideally the situation. When the land value increases, their happiness increases and the amount of money that they earn increases. And then they have more money to spend in commercial zones. Which is why for such a long time, we had no demand for commerce because I wasn't putting down any parks. I was just expanding. You get more people, slightly more demand for commercial zones, but not much. And then until people started really making money, now they're like, yeah, I got money to spend. Let's get some shops going. How we doing? This is also pretty much at capacity, the high school, so that's something we need to do. I was thinking, again, in this area, once we get a bit more density going, which shouldn't be too long, we can then start to put a high school down somewhere in here. In fact, we could maybe even do it now. Let's see what the demand is for high schools. It's we're right at the edge of everyone who can go to school is in that high school. So we need a new one, basically. So I would say what we're going to do is remove this plaza. Nobody is using it anyway. And then we're going to remove the pathway that's here and this one. Shift this building over. And then this pathway now conveniently lines up with the natural path that's built into that restaurant. And now we've got room for a high school. And we've got the money for one too. High capacity elementary school, high school. So this is the one we did build already. It's really big, but this one's a lot smaller. So we can stick it right in there. Brand new high school, right across from the public library, near the gym facilities, multi-story car park, commercial zones. Perfect. Love it. Alright, so you guys can have your own pathway in here. I'm just going to do that, and then we'll move the node. Doesn't look the best there, I guess, but I don't know what more I can do about that. Okay. Oh, I know what I can do. I can pave it. Oh, no, I can't. Because it doesn't like to overlap textures. For some reason. It's so annoying the way it does that. It'll just always have this gap between it. So I'll just leave it the way it was. Just leave it as is. Until I find that decal. People were saying with the airport you can get a decal that does it, but I think because of the mods I'm using I don't have the same decal for this specific texture. I don't know. Alright, anyways, still looking nice. So we have this brand new high school. 19 students are in it, but you know, it's for the future. And people can use the bus routes and stuff to get to school. The bus stops around here, and I'm hearing pings left, right, and center from all the houses, people moving in and houses upgrading. Love to hear it. And no doubt some of the commercial buildings are upgrading too, or will do. Alright, we're up to 7,036. Let's get this up to, like I said, 7,500. So we'll just go new commercial district right in there. I don't think people will live right across from it. We'll have them live down in the suburbs. Alright, let's try that for a bit. See how we get on. So something I was thinking as well, we could start making people, getting people to move in over here, and maybe just build even a makeshift industrial area for them to work at over there. When I say makeshift, I mean temporary, not makeshift. Temporary. Because I feel like we'll eventually decommission that and have them work at like the oil rigs and other things like that. This is going to need its water, as will that other place. And I think what would be good before people move in, just really quick, yeah, we could maybe just put a little park in this area here. Oh, what kind of park is that? Just a small park. Yeah, let's just go with that. Why not? And then maybe large playground across from it. We'll just turn it just ever so slightly. Just looks somewhat a bit more natural to the area. Alright, so you guys are going to want to move in there, no doubt. Maybe even an elementary school could be nearby the park. I think elementary school will be enough. Alright, so, yep, we'll just continue the zoning of this area. Let them start moving in. And obviously the demand isn't that high for that right now, but we'll, again, put down more commerce and stuff. So this would be kind of their closest commercial district, so they have to come out that way, get onto this road, and then go down and get there. That's at least the idea. This is not really worth having anything there. Don't know what I'll do with that. We could maybe put a car park in or something, actually. Use Anarchy to move it. That would look a bit more natural, I think, as well. Yeah. Yeah, good. Alright, how are we doing? Sewage treatment. Maybe we can increase that. I also moved these to look a little bit more uniform, so I'm pretty happy with how they look now as well. Same with the water inside of here. So you guys don't have power. You're a little too separated, are you? Yeah, that can be the problem with the way the zoning works sometimes when they get filled in first. Those power lines are now in the way. You know what then? Alright, let's move these power lines. When the people move in, this will just get power itself, but I'll just, for temporary sake, do this. And that clears the zoning area. There you go. Again, it's only a small thing, but I think even a car park there would be good. Oh, it actually kind of pushes up on that house a bit. That's such a shame. If I was to just be a little cheeky, does that help? No. Well, forget it then. I'd rather the house be a full plot. So something that's a 3x2, I'll have to have a look in the find it settings later to see if we can get anything for that. Did I forget anything there? No, we're okay. They have water as well. Almost. Alright, and they have power as well now. Good. Alright, the commercial area is growing. Our 2 new factories have just been built. So this one, 30 workers, and this one, 6. We're still filling up. We're 50% full for unique factory products. Traffic seems good. I haven't seen anything be terribly backed up, so I feel like it's, well, I say that. We have told everyone to leave out this way. So why is everyone in that lane? Why is nobody getting into this lane? That might be why. I know obviously a lot of people are going to go back that way, but it just seems strange that nobody was using... No, I don't think that would be why, actually. Just nobody's just taking this lane out. Let's just see. Literally nobody. Wow. Okay. Oh no, some people are. Hang on, let me just pay attention. Okay, I guess not. They are all going this way. And that's just basically the commute home. So that's because I've cut this road, obviously, right? You can't turn left there. So everyone's saying, okay, well, I'll go out this way then and go home. But maybe not a good idea. I don't know. I guess I just thought more people would be using the other lane a bit. You could solve this actually really easily, couldn't you? If we do real roundabout rules, which is to say that you would come out this way and you can still go forward. So let's let them do that and see if that helps. So you've been prevented from going on. I'll let you go on. That should be the thing that does it, I think. Something I'm just going to change really quickly with this one is just to cut that one away. There we go. Yeah, so now we'll see tomorrow. The next commute home will really reset things, but now we'll see people using both lanes a lot more. I think that should be better. Yeah. Alright, very last thing then with the lane connector. I think you should be allowed to go there as well then if you wanted to. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? I think so. Yeah. It's definitely smoother. It will be smoother. Alright, we'll check on that tomorrow. I'm still learning. That's my excuse. How are we doing population? 7,000. Come on, let's get more people. I just don't want to zone too much stuff, though, because they actually provide a lot of jobs and stuff. But we're just not getting much demand yet for people. So let's just keep speeding up time. People are moving in. Oh, you've... Demand for water. So it is the dead of night now. Let's do our branches here. Good thing about out here, at least, is they should get onto that 4-lane road and head in this way to get into work. And they can take this turn in this way then. So that should be nice. If they're going to this district. Ideally, we'll have jobs for them on the other side of the suburbs at some point too. Big demand. Yeah, people must have lots of money to spend because the demand for commercial, it's behaving the opposite it did before. It's not going away. Oh, could we expand even further? Should we clear another block for more shops? I mean, you could have shops all along here as well. Might make more sense, maybe. Don't want to get too crazy and let time play just a little bit, just to have, you know, let things settle. I guess at the very least, maybe we could say here. And then we could put the park gates in somewhere in between. I don't know if that would be weird. See, this provides noise pollution. I just feel like shops at the back of these houses are very weird. But we can always readjust a little later down the line. Schools out policy is gone. Let's see how we're doing for population metrics now. So unemployment's at 3%. There are 600 jobs available. Pretty much. Maybe 5. Yeah, 600 pretty much. Population is at 7,000. Seniors at 10%, which is a good number. I don't want to see it go above 20. But I'm happy to see it go up to 20. If it needs to. Let's check our new high school. 162 students in there at the moment. That's good. What we can do as well is actually reduce down the budget for the high schools. Because they don't need to be that much. It's overall education, but I think the same is true of the elementary schools. Yeah, eligible. Yeah, the capacity is still totally fine, so we're good for a little while on that, I think. Alright, so what time is it? What time of day is it? 7:44. It's the morning commute. Buses are out. The yellow buses are on their way, doing their thing. We could check how they're performing. So the yellow line has about 50 passengers and 50 passengers for both ways, so 100 in total for the yellow line. There are 10 vehicles, so that's an average of 5 per vehicle. That seems pretty low. I guess we have to wait for them to fill up a bit. I loved my first bus route, and then you guys are like, oh, put them going counterclockwise and everything, which does make sense. But now nobody's using them as much, or feels that way. We had like 200 on the bus line the first time. But I suppose when you add more, that's expected, right? People are getting the more convenient route. I do love looking at them going around. 7 people on this one. Yeah, and the vehicle count modifier is down to just 6 vehicles, which is fine. 16, 11, 36 people waiting at this stop. A lot of people always at this one. This is always a very busy area. What are you guys doing? Going home? Must have been a wild night out or something. Going to a small playground, going to the bouncy castle park. Alright, cool. Oh, I'm happy enough. How's the traffic in the morning? Not bad. See, they've got 2 ways in, so the traffic in the morning is just not that bad, right? Really. But the traffic on the way out is pretty severe because they've only got 1 way out. They're all using that roundabout in the evening. Well, they do have this way out if they're not living in the city. But it does feel like we could maybe let them turn... Actually, they could use this way out. What am I saying? Anyway. Now that we've let them go on the other lane, it'd be interesting to see how they get out. Yeah, you do have the freedom for that other lane. And it's just a lot of trucks. I would have thought the trucks would just be... Oh, they're going to the commercial area. Oh, these trucks just came into... Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. It's because we got new commercial zones. Alright, what are we up to? 7,200. Alright, they're looking okay. These guys are coming in nicely. Yep. The demand still is there for just more and more commerce. Again, people don't know what to do with the money they have, I guess. I almost feel like that's an entirely temporary row. This is going to create a lot of traffic out this way. I didn't expect for this to be so busy. It was really supposed to be just this block here. The other alternative is building more here, but I've got plans for making it more dense. Once we get the higher density zoning, I'll just switch one of these to high density, and then it's going to be like triple the capacity. So once we get there, then you can kind of reshape the city a bit. And just literally choose the plot of one area to build high density, another one like here, another one here, whatever, rather than painting the whole thing. Yeah, it's interesting to see that they don't try and use both lanes as much. They're still just using this inner lane mostly. I understand why. They can't possibly know to use the other one. I guess the symbols now don't really fully make sense if you're allowed to just go around that. But it's okay. Yeah, we'll see how busy it gets at the end of the workday. So what time is it now? That can't be right. Yeah, it's 12 in the day, midday. We have our trucks coming in, pulling into here, and then you're somehow just able to drive straight through him. Okay? I had noticed those trucks stopping people before. Police station. So where are you headed? You're going that way. Oh, I'm so sorry to have to do this, but why not? Why not go this way? You can do that, right? Am I not letting people switch lanes if they ever wanted to? What's the big deal? I suppose here I could just explicitly say it. But that might cause confusion on that part of the roundabout, I don't know. Alright, so after doing something fairly radical, I have just removed all lane connections that I designed. So now it's just a default roundabout, and we'll see how it goes. So we're getting close to the commute, right? It's 3:30 p.m. Maybe it's the end of school for some. And I'm noticing no one's really using the inner lane. That's why I use the lane connector. But it seems like people are just using the outer lane. So I don't know. But we'll leave it at that for a little while. Let's see how that day goes for traffic. Okay, so how are we doing commercial-wise? Yeah, we're fine. What about down here? Do they need any more commercial areas? They could probably put one... I'd say there, maybe? No, I don't know. I just feel like they'll look weird. It's another extra shop that can appear down here now. Money is really, really good, though. We're making pretty much... We're just making loads of money. And population's growing. Everything's good. I'm pretty happy with how those things are going. And we're just waiting on more and more people to move in this way. There is demand for industry or offices. So I guess I could also try and put down another slaughterhouse down here now. So let's do it. So farming industry, scroll over, and we'll get to milking parlor, another milking parlor, a slaughterhouse again, a really big one right there. Ah, just one sec. I've noticed that it's embedding itself into the terrain a bit much for my liking. Is there any way I can not have it do that? Or is it just always going to do that? Let's have a look at the contour lines. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll have to just lower that down a bit with landscaping. Soften the terrain. Give me my brush. Alright, this should just help a little bit with that, the way it looked. What does right mouse click do? The secondary button is just a stronger effect. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, it seems like it's flattened out a bit. Not that we need this at all, but it might just fill the gap nicely. We'll put in a pathway. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just purely aesthetic. Alright, cool. So they're right across from, let's see, the warehouse for flour, which is actually super full right now. The other one's here, so it's going to be taking in crops. The different buildings are there. Yeah, so I'm going to have to expand these farms out soon enough. But that should provide more jobs and give more demand for residential for a little while. Disconnected power grids, do we? I don't think so. Not that I'm seeing. And, oh, electricity availability is just getting low, so maybe we'll bump that back up now. Keep it at a hundo. Alright, we're back to 100%. We'll just keep advancing time, try to speed up a bit. How's the traffic flow? 83% here in the dead of night. Trucks are finding their way out. That's totally fine. The buses are going back into their depot for the evening. We're at 45% full. It is on fill. Wasn't it at 50% earlier? That might be why we're making so much money, actually. Because maybe they are exporting it. It does say fill, though. Not balanced. Let's say empty. Just empty that out for a bit. So the trucks are going to go out during the night. If the buses could just get past. There we go. How's the school doing as well? Yeah, 153 students out of 192. That's pretty good. Hopefully people don't have to go too far for it. Oh, nice. The residential demand's increased significantly. Okay, no doubt because of our agricultural expansion. So yeah, so let's just pile a few more people in this way. Fill out these, as I've been calling them, branches to the roads. Actually, yeah, I can just do all this as well. Be a bit more liberal with it. Alright, cool. So that's going to be a lot more people moving in, hopefully out this way, and they've got a good way to get back onto the 4-lane road. If they do work at the farms, they can get there fairly easily. Just speed up time again. Should see the residential demand falling, hopefully when all these people move in. Nice. The reason I'm speeding up time so much is I just want to get to 7,500 so we can put down a few of our first high-density buildings. I need to redo that red bus route still. It can actually go probably and collect people from up here as well in the future. More people are using this this road now, the Outer Park Road. Get to the new commercial area. Looking good. Good enough. There's no pathways between any of these places yet, so it is all car driven. 40,000 we're making thanks to our exporting. So we'll just tell this to fill again. Lovely that there are less cars in the streets. I can enjoy my walk. Hashtag Old Town. Yeah, it still counts as Old Town in there. Alright, we're really close. 7,431. We're gaining 60 per week, so that'll be the last amount we need. The residential is completely fallen away. These guys are going to need their own commercial areas, which I'm planning, again, just to have up towards, like... Well, actually, I don't really know. There was just here and here to grow. I don't really plan on adding any extra commerce over here. They do have the commerce district down here, so if they get on their... get in their car or on a bus or whatever, they can get down to Franklin Heights pretty easily. I would say it's relatively well spaced out. It's just all the industry is on one side of the town right now, which is probably one of the bigger problems. Alright, well, it looks like we're about to hit it any second. We're at 7,490. 7,491. And, oh my god, we're 4 away. Let's go. How's this doing? Is it filled up? There we go. We are now a big town. So, another 2x2 kilometer area unlocked. Campus area, universities have been unlocked. Residential wall-to-wall, which is super interesting. It's a district policy that allows for basically an in-between density, but in between like low and high density buildings. It's kind of like little apartments that are stacked next to each other. Office wall-to-wall, financial buildings, office buildings, I mean. Excellent. We don't have enough highly educated people for those jobs yet. Industry 4.0. See, I haven't actually seen any of that stuff. I'll have to read about it. I'm really just here for the densities. Blimp pathways. Incineration plants. Holy crap. Instead of collecting garbage, why not burn it? Well, I can think of a few reasons. One-way large toll booth. Let's tax that roundabout and stop people using it. Underground metros, universities. Excellent. Ooh, a sauna. Bougie. Oh, and a prison? I didn't know there was prisons in the game. I never even thought about that. Cool. Says a lot about me that I got excited by that. The school teaches teenagers in the ways of technology. An alternative to the university. Right, there is loads of stuff in there. Transport-wise, actually, the bus intercity hub. That's interesting because you connect a bus depot effectively, right? Bus terminal to another type of bus terminal that then goes to the city to link the two together. It's pretty cool. Nice. We've only got 7,500. I feel like a lot of that stuff is really early for us, but still, pretty good. All right, so now that we have the density, I'm going to get a little crazy. We're going to remove this area. Just, not the entire area, but just get rid of those. They don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. We can leave those shops there. We'll go with higher density in certain locations. So you got to be very specific with this. Let's say over in this area. Let's clear this out. We'll put in a high density commercial building effectively there. So we'll let that reappear in just a moment. How's the school doing? 457 students in there. That's pretty good. So we should see our first high density building appearing in a moment. Now while that's happening, we're going to redo the districts here a bit. So we'll just create a new district here just even momentarily. Bring this in. Chop this out of the way. We'll get a bit more, use the fine tool now to get a bit more specific with it. So that's Franklin Square. All right. So let's just grab this one and bring it into maybe about here and bring this down. This will make sense in a sec. It's time playing. Let's just let time play. It's totally fine. Sure, whatever. I can readjust some of these a bit later. And I guess we'll just make sure that they have a district for now. Even just same with these until I repaint it. Probably in between episodes I'll paint out new districts. But the important thing is now we have Franklin Square. That's interesting. It's Franklin Heights and Franklin Square. Let's call it, what can we call it? Let's call it Victoria Square. Alright, so Victoria Square, which is largely commercial, but has a little spillover to residential. Just ever so slightly. And we'll just make sure that's nice and even. Pretty even, anyway. And just to be even more controlling, actually, just in case, I'm going to go just a little further. Just that row of houses is all I want to be affecting as best as possible. And then it's all commercial. Okay. So there we go. Our first high density building is going in. Only 15 workers, actually. It doesn't feel high density. It's basically smaller than the other ones. Some of the other ones, anyway. But when it levels up, it might get bigger. All right, the thing I wanted to do then here is because we unlocked that district policy, let's go open up Victoria Square, open up the policies, get rid of the thing for a second. City planning. No, it's down here, isn't it? Yes, so we have the residential specializations. Wall-to-wall buildings. So we're going to put that in there. And click. Alright, so that's wall to wall. So this means that these houses are going to disappear probably and turn into like apartment blocks. And we'll expand this out as it gets a bit more dense. And then basically, yeah, just make sure we have a demand for... Oh, that's why. I'm sorry. Didn't see that. So let's just get rid of this bit as well. And then we'll just put in new higher density there again. Alright, so this building will go away. We'll get a higher density zone coming in. And you don't want to go too crazy because obviously that means a lot of people have to go there to shop. So 60 workers, 160 visitors. That's about as high as I want to bring it. The one at the back got affected somehow. Or no, it just leveled up actually. It's still low density. Alright, and these houses then, to meet that demand, we'll get some apartments here. Young adults hopefully will start moving in. And then Victoria Square, you know, it's got its high school, it's got its library. Numbers haven't changed yet, by the way, even though we removed the policies. Traffic is okay, is it? We're at 81, 82. It's okay. I'm happy enough with this solution. I know I spent a while on it, but I'm happy enough with it. This place is never going to get any bigger. So, it works. Just about. If the 4-lane roads get a lot busier, though, it could end up having some issues. Now, I've just taken away those rules altogether, so that's just default lane rules now, which I find strange. It just means to me, like, no one's using the inner lane, so what's the point of it being a 2-lane roundabout at all? Just seems odd to me, but that's the way the game defaults to doing roundabouts. Nice! Look at this! Up to 40 workers now. It's already become level 2. It's becoming level 3. And then this one as well, an outlet shop. Yakisoba. 60 workers potentially, so it's great for jobs. Which means that we should get people moving in. Oh, look at our fancy looking modern apartment buildings. The Hamilton residence. We could give them a tree, if we could be so daring. Don't know if you'd really have a tree like that there, but maybe there. Alright, we're getting busy, so how many do these house? 28 households! Holy shit! That's way more than I thought. I thought it'd be like 10. 28, that's kind of big. 15, 3. Alright, well I'm glad I didn't go too far in, because that could be a disaster for people moving in. We're going to have probably a lot of traffic moving up this road as they look to move into their new houses. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, though. Ultimately, that's what we wanted to do. 21,000 in the back. We are making bank. And that's excellent, because you know what we need that money for? Building the city. So that's good. How's our vitals doing? Sewage treatments could still, again, be improved. Can we increase the... Yeah. Hey, what happened? Did I bring healthcare all the way down to 0? I must have. Oh, the availability is totally fine, though, so I guess we'll leave it. Education-wise, maybe we can bump that up now. 90%. Services and water. Water's okay. Yep. And how are we doing out this way, then? Ground farms. Making more animal products. More jobs. 560 out of 650 now as well. So we only need, you know, just less than 100 to go. Nice. All right. We'll wrap it up in a sec, but we'll probably just wait for the morning commute again one last time and then see how traffic is kind of being handled at the moment. You can be in either lane. I wonder what the rules are then. Do people just stack up in this lane or not? I won't make any changes until we see. The buses are going back. Returning to depot. Returning to depot. Good. Driving to a plaza with trees. And then we have people, of course, walking to work or walking to wherever they're going. Supervisor at Cyberdyne. I did name one of them Cyberdyne. That's cool. Shout out if you get the reference. New zoning types available. Oh yeah, offices. We don't have enough. We need to build a university. So my plan, generally speaking, but let me know what you'd like to see, is I want to build some sort of city out here, you know, with a kind of a quayside along the coast, and then somewhere we're going to have a university. And the idea will be, it's not going to be walking only, but heavily focused on people moving around and walking, and lots of public transport, bike lanes, bus lanes, that sort of thing. That's priority. Regular lanes will not have priority, or regular traffic. Because look at how dense these buildings are going to get. 100 people are trying to work in here. It's just not enough people. 32 educated, 66 jobs available. It's looking to have 32 educated people working there. So I'm glad I didn't get overzealous. You know, just this one little dense pocket here, and it's crazy the amount of people that want to work there. But it'll take a little time for us to feel the effect. But once, you know, people start graduating again, the education levels will go up, and I'm sure people will take those jobs. The graduated are highlighted in blue. Efficiency is green, just for where they're close to things. Graduation. So we need them to graduate from high schools to get that educated thing. So yeah, not many people have been graduating over here. Wow, to be honest, not many people have been graduating anywhere. I guess it does take a while though, but still. That's cool that they have like art on the buildings and stuff. Oh, you can actually change them. Oh, you just change the art, do you? That's interesting. Kind of. I like that one. Not that one. This one. Yeah, why not? So we have this nice steady sort of urbanization as we move into that commercial center here. Some apartment blocks. That's actually, I don't know how realistic it is, but it's exactly like where I live right now. There is a intermingling of like little houses like this and then apartment blocks. I live in an apartment. But from the outside, they actually all kind of look the same or very similar. The apartments only rise up 3 floors and the houses only go up to 2. So you can't really easily spot them. But it's a really nice development that I live in because it was only built a few years ago. And I just rent, so it's nothing crazy for me. But the houses I admire there because it's like, I don't know, it looks like a really nice community. And then the only thing that's here for this entire community, the only thing is one elementary school. That's it. There's no shops, nothing else. And apparently the people that live here were like promised there'd be more stuff by now, and there isn't. So they're kind of like complaining about that at the moment because they have to they basically have to leave to go onto a 4-lane road to go pretty far to get down to like the closest shops and stuff. My city actually has stuff way closer, surprisingly. So they're having a problem with sewage. You know, we just increased it to 100%, but it looks like we might need to bring in another eco water outlet. So we could just copy that and pop another one down. And then I'll just shift it over to get it into a bit more fine placement. Something like that. It's good enough. And then we'll just connect the pipe. How's pollution, actually? It's getting a little stronger as more people move in. Alright, there's the morning commute. So these are the vehicles that come in to deliver all the goods. Because you can tell, well, not all of them, but some of them anyway. Because it's the morning and we've got a lot of people leaving. So where are you going? Resides at the driving home. Maybe they work a night shift or something. I'm just surprised to see people traveling home at 11 a.m. But I guess so. And they're all using the right lane now. That's funny. See, what I'd like to do, the way it should work, right, I think, is if you're in this lane, you should be connecting around to go out here. Whereas if you're in this lane, you can go there or there. That's what I've been taught. I've been taught it's like a clock face. Well, except we go around, you know, clockwise, but obviously anti-clockwise. So clockwise, if you're having the reverse direction, it's like if it's straight across from you, you can be in the outer lane. But if you're kind of crossing over more of the roundabout than from where you're starting, you know, if you're crossing over that halfway point, you're taking a left now. And if you're taking a left, you should be in the left lane. If you're taking a right, so this is a right, or this is a right, then you're on the right lane. That's what I've been taught, at least in my first lesson. So to me, it's like I can't guide them the whole way around, right? So it's like, okay, you go there, and then I'd have to tell this lane, this one to connect on, because you can't actually connect the intersections. You only have the junctions to control. And it's like, yeah, you can technically go to there, and then, but it all depends where you're starting from, so you can't lay it out that way. That's the thing that's kind of confusing about it. So I couldn't really do that. I just wanted to, maybe, hopefully that can kind of make sense for people now, because from these guys' perspective, it's like, yeah, you can only go to there. But from these guys' perspective, you can go to there. So then the rules of the lane connection changes. So that's why I was trying to let them cross, which I think was kind of working anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, this lane connection is going to upset them a little bit, even though it's basically what they're doing anyway. Anyway, long-winded way of explaining that. But yeah, I don't want to be building an underpass or anything like that. It's a bit too extreme, I think. But maybe I just didn't need to not let them turn left here. Maybe that would help. So that way they can get back out. I'm not sure though. Anyone that's leaving out this way is either going forward or going left. They are not going right. Almost, they just shouldn't be. Because they could go right out this way if they wanted to. So there's really no reason for them to do that. And if they could go out right here, it's to get into the town. If they're getting onto the motorway, they could have just gone out this way. So, interesting. Anyway, it's been pretty fun. This is a good episode, I think. I'm happy to see the higher density buildings moving in. We're balancing out the residential now. These are all filling in. 23 out of 28 households. We have some residential demand. And then, of course, we're going to be filling out the rest of the suburbs here as well. I'm trying to give them a few more things next episode and redoing the districts a bit. And maybe actually building the park and then finally starting work on this. We've got $500,000 in the bank, which is great. We've built up a lot of money pretty quickly. So filling out the industry, building out the city, completing the suburbs. Those are the 3 major goals that I have left. That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.